Hey guys, it's Phoenix. Welcome back to /helpSC. This is a series of videos where I teach you guys how to use command blocks and get accustomed to this entirely different realm of Minecraft. Now this video is probably going to showcase one of the most important aspects of command block mechanics, and it is scoreboards. This probably forms one of the largest portions of command block mechanisms. Now, what do I mean by that? First of all, the wiki says that scoreboards are a complex gameplay mechanic. I wouldn't say they're complex, they're probably very diverse. Now I'm going to teach you guys, first of all, how scoreboards are integrated in these command block mechanics, how to get started with them. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is create a scoreboard. It will allow you to separate different concepts of maps into different categories and allow you to target them and connect them in different ways. So to create a scoreboard, all you need to do is go scoreboard objectives add. This is the name you want. I'm going to call it help dummy. There are different types of scoreboard objectives: the stat objective, death count objective, level objective, health objective. I'm going to go over the most important one, which is dummy. And the dummy objective is essentially a random objective you want to create, and it will allow you to manipulate the scores of that objective at your own choosing. It will not be affected by any other notion of Minecraft. I would have to say with PokeCA, I believe almost every single objective I have is a dummy objective. And if you think about it, it's because I want to create health, I want to create levels, I want to create stats at my own will. I don't want anything else to affect the objective. So I'm going to create a help objective. This can be named anything you want. It's going to be a dummy objective. And the last argument here of the syntax is the display name that you want. It's going to be called helpSC. Now you can actually have spaces in this. I'm going to press enter and I'm going to create this objective. So I've already created it previously to this video. I just wanted to test a few things out. I'm going to remove it first of all, and I'm going to create it. So to remove an objective, you go scoreboard objectives remove, and then the name of the objective you want to remove. Add a new objective, help. So this command, scoreboard objective set display sidebar, it's going to display the help objective off to the side here. So I can see every single score that's going to appear for every player that has a score for help. Currently there are none, but as soon as there is one, it's going to start modulating and it will display right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go scoreboard players set at P. This is at P, so the nearest player. I don't think I'll make an episode on that. At P, at R, at E, they're all displayed in the command block so you can see what they mean. I'll be running through them in every episode anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So scoreboard players set at P, help 0. Now I'm going to have a score of 0. It is important for you to know that if I had not done that, I'm not going to have a default score of 0. I'm actually going to have a null value. So I'm not even going to have a score at all. So I have to do this to have a score of 0. So now I'm going to have a score for help of 0. I can do a lot of things with this. I'm going to explain this later with a different example. So here I'm going to summon an armor stand that has a name of Phoenix. And I'm going to have a different video on this. So how to summon and NBT tags. Right now, all you need to know is that I've summoned an armor stand above the command block with a name of Phoenix and its name being visible. So it's Phoenix. Now, this next command here is going to give it a score. So you can give any player or any entity in the world a score for this objective. So scoreboard plays set at E. Now, for those who don't know how selectors work, at E means entity. So all entities with a name of Phoenix. So name equals Phoenix, and it's a type. It's called an armor stand, armor underscore stand. So it's not player, it's an armor stand. It's important that you type this correctly without any typos, otherwise the command blocks will not know what you mean. It's going to have a help score of 1. So similar to the @p example, it's going to set this entity with a score of help of 1. Let's do that. And I should probably explain what I'm doing here. So let's make this neat redstone. All right. So what's happened here? This is a UID, an identifier, so just a name for this armor stand. It's not called Phoenix. It's going to display the UID. Don't worry too much about it. It's actually this armor stand. And it's going to have a score of 1, as you can see. Now, what have I actually done with the chat here? Essentially, I haven't explained what execute does, but essentially what this command block is doing is whenever there is entity which fits this requirement, so has the name of Phoenix, is a type armor stand, and has a score of help of minimum of 1. Now let me explain this real quick. This is really quite important. Score, this is just adding to the selector. Score underscore help. So it's checking for any scoreboard objective called help that has a minimum score of 1. And when that happens, it's going to start saying success in chat. So /say success. I'll explain execute later. I'm not going to go over it right now. But what's more important is this little tab here. Let me explain more of this in greater detail later. This is just an introduction to scoreboard values. I'll explain how selectors work in another video. Because this in itself has a lot of applications, and it's quite possibly the most important feature of command block concepts. Okay, you can also do something quite interesting here. You don't have to target an entity or a player that exists on the server or on a map. What you can do is actually give random non-existent players scores as well. You can go score players set, sushi. It doesn't have to be sushi, it can be anything. And as you can probably tell, sushi doesn't exist on this map. Help of 1. And now there's this guy called Sushi that has a score of 1. Now, coincidentally, if a player called Sushi actually logs in, he's going to have a score of 1. But I'm relying on the low probability of Sushi logging in to this map and having a score of 1. This is probably more important for scoreboard operations, so mathematics. I'm not going to go through that in this video. But sometimes it's useful to have random players that don't exist to allow you to modulate other scores. But that's something you can keep in mind. Okay, so just a couple other things that you can do. You can go scoreboard players list. So this command allows you to check the scores of an entity. So scoreboard players list at P. And it's going to show all track 7 objectives and their scores. So helpSC, I have a score of 0, as you can see. And these other things you don't really need to worry about. You can also do the same thing with scoreboard objectives list. It's going to list the number of objectives on your map. You can go score players add, which will increase the score that I have. So if I go score players add at P help of 1, and I run a command like so, I'm going to have a score of 1. And I can keep on doing this, and I'm going to have a score of 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Same thing applies with score players remove. And doing this will minus a score from my objective. So this is just a brief introduction to scoreboards. Scoreboards are very important to a lot of command block concepts. They probably run every single command block concept. I cannot imagine any concepts which don't rely on scoreboards, unless they're really, really simple. But they have to reach this really low threshold of complexity. You have to probably use scoreboards. So I hope this video helped you guys out. I'm probably going to make another video which explains selectors and the intricacies in that. Combine that with operations. Just for the sake of keeping this video short, I'm going to round out the scoreboard shenanigans in maybe 2 or 3 videos, but things are going to get more complex as we go along. What's more important is you guys understand how to create scoreboards, how to manipulate scoreboards, and other simple applications. Thanks for watching. Leave a like on this video if you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what kinds of topics you'd like me to cover early on in the series. I do plan on continuing the series for as long as I need to. I don't have really an end goal. I'm going to rely on you guys to help me out in running this and catering this towards my viewership. Subscribe for more creative content and Pokemon updates. Take care.